You are Locked On Astros Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Houston on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right. It might not have been the world's best baseball game today in terms of offensive prowess for either side. It's the end result that matters, though, as the Astros are backed by a brilliant day from Framber Valdez. Just enough offensively thanks to home runs from Jose Altuve and Yainer Diaz. And what do you know? They get another victory, picking up the series win and continuing their hot streak as they continue to propel themselves closer to an American League West title. Hello and welcome to the Locked On Astros Postcast this afternoon. By the way, this episode today is brought to you by PrizePicks, the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB and use code all lowercase LockedOnMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. The Astros today getting to 67-56 at the win. I am, by the way, your host, Michael Connor. If you're new to this channel today, thanks for stopping by. We do appreciate it. If you're not new and you've, been around for a while, including our hecklers in the comments, I'm just saying it again as always, but thank you for stopping by. Hit that subscribe button. We do appreciate you guys. Astros, good weekend. Not their best weekend they could have, right? Best weekend would have been getting another sweep, but a good weekend because you know what? You got a series win. And I don't think that there's anything to complain about today. Look, the Astros rolled out a Sugarland, I was going to call them the Skeeters. That's been a while now. They rolled out a Sugarland Space Cowboys lineup today. That's what they did. They truly, truly did. I mean, look, this team rolled out Jake Meyers hitting cleanup. Jake Meyers hitting cleanup today. Jordan had the day off. Of course, they didn't have Bregman the entire weekend. They're still without Kyle Tucker. So, Jake Meyers hit cleanup. Shea Whitcomb in his second big league game hit fifth. Zach DeZenzo, who can't hit right now, hit sixth. You got two guys at the bottom of the lineup, McCormick and Leone, who can't touch a baseball, basically. They're in the lineup. They did not care what the White Sox were going to throw at them today. They knew that all they had to do was put a couple of those regulars in the lineup, and they'd probably win this baseball game today. Framber twirled another brilliant one. We'll talk about him in just a bit. But 7 shutout today for Framber, picks up win number 13 of the season. Jose Altuve, home run there in the 8th inning for a little bit of insurance, his 16th. And, of course, Yainer with the solo bomb in the 6th. Should have been a 2-home-run day for Yainer. But you know what? It's okay. Sometimes you get robbed. He got robbed of a home run there in the 1st inning. Be a little bit of a different tone maybe to the post-game show if Fletcher doesn't rob Yainer of that 3-run home run in the 1st inning. And that's a guy that's found his power stroke a little bit lately. You'd love to see the ball go over the fence. He has 13 home runs now in the season. But good day for him. Good day for Jose Altuve, like I mentioned. Really, the Astros didn't have a lot of hits. They had 5. And all 5 of them came from the top 3 hitters in the lineup. As I mentioned, the rest of that lineup, Meyers, Whitcomb, DeZenzo, Dubon, McCormick, Leone, they all went over. The Astros won the baseball game today. That's how awful the Chicago White Sox are. You can have a game where you have 3 players collect all of your hits, and you can win easily. Even if they had a 1-run lead going in there the 9th inning, I wasn't sweating it at all. Josh Hader as well, 27 up, 27 down in terms of save opportunities this season. He's been brilliant. He has really, really, really started to get it together. The home run ball was an issue for him early in the season. He's given up just one hit over his last 7 1/3 innings pitched total, which is crazy to think. And over the last calendar month, he's really keeping guys off base. I mean, over the last calendar month, he has a whip of .78. That's pretty darn good. And again, like I mentioned, save opportunities, 27 of them in a row, all converted for Josh Hader, which is a club record in his first season. He's 27 out of 28 this season. That's an incredible clip. Just like his career clip is. In his career, he's 192 of 218 when it comes to closing out save opportunities. He's been great. And they didn't have Ryan Presley, of course, again this weekend. He is on the injured list, which is an issue for this baseball team. look, they get through a weekend against a team that they should win the series against. That's what they did. They take 2 out of 3. Would you have liked, again, to have a sweep? Of course you would have. But you can't get everything that you want in life and everything that you want in baseball. They now have the Red Sox coming to town. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But this is that stretch of games, and you saw part of the reason why you get days off for guys today and this weekend in general. Boston for 3 for the next 3 days. Okay, you have to respect them. The Astros just played them and just swept them in Boston last weekend. Is that a guarantee that they're going to play just as well this time around? No, but if you just watch Boston this year, you know that, their pitching's not all that great. I mean, hell, they just signed for a 42 or 43-year-old sitting on his couch, Rich Hill, to a minor league deal. That's where Boston's pitching is at. But they have the ability, the Astros do, to put the baseball in play against them, and you can get some wins. They're gearing up for this stretch where you go at Baltimore for 4 after that series, at Philadelphia for 3, back home for Kansas City for 4. That is a tough period of time. I said it yesterday, in the month of September overall, it's pretty darn easy. It's not overly stressful, I think, in terms of just looking at the schedule on paper. There's some good teams in it, yes. I mean, every month's going to have some good teams in it, but you have 7 games in that month against the Angels. You have 3 games against the A's. You got 3 games against the Reds in that month. You should clean up in that month. You really, really should in the month of September and really put yourself home. You just take care of your business, and that's exactly what they continue to do while the Mariners have not of late. Now, Seattle did take care of their business today. So that's okay. You took care of yours, and they've left this weekend with a 4-game lead in the American League West, and they've pushed themselves to 11 over 500. And again, if you talked about earlier in this season where this baseball team was, if you could have convinced me at any point this year this baseball team would find their way to 11 games over 500, I would have said you're on like something that I've never even heard of. So you're drinking some sort of orange Kool-Aid that's spiked with something. And here we are on August the 18th, 11 games over 500. And they're led by a multitude of guys. And even in times where they don't have their best stuff in terms of players to put out there, it is impressive that they've continued to do what they've done. You could roll over and, walk into these games today, whatever. It still takes some level of focus in these situations to win baseball games like this today. And that's exactly what this baseball team did. So, tip of the cap to the Astros today. I almost felt like I was going to dab on you there. No, I'm not going to dab on you. I guess I can because the Astros won. Simple as that. The series coming up, though, again, pretty big for this Astros team. We'll look into those in just a little bit more. We'll talk about Framber Valdez because, well, he's pitching like the staff ace. He's not the only one that's pitching like the staff ace on this staff, but he's pitching that way, and you got to give him some love again, where he goes out there today for the Astros, does his thing, and helps fuel this team to has there ever been a 2-0 win that's ever felt that easy? I don't know if I can come up with anything off the top of my head that's ever felt like that. It all gets back to who the opponent is. And the White Sox are a dumpster fire when it comes to, what a baseball team should look like. Let's talk about Framber, though, after this quick, brief message right here on the Locked On Astros Postcast. Let me tell you right now about PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. It's the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps on PrizePicks, it's just you against the numbers. I'm telling you guys, if you've not gotten into PrizePicks yet, what are you waiting for? Make the games fun. You put those lineups together. You are absolutely rolling. Right now, you can win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into $1,000. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play just $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Of course, football season's coming up as well. That's going to make PrizePicks even better when it comes to having a great time. I'm looking forward to having football back on PrizePicks as well. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code LOCKEDONMLB on PrizePicks for a deposit match up to $100. PrizePicks, run your game. Locked On Astros Postcast here on a Sunday afternoon. Thanks for taking some time and coming by to the show. If you're new to the channel today, please hit that subscribe button. It is a greatly appreciated thing. I'm just pulling my phone up right now to see where we're at on our climb towards, I told you, we're going to have the biggest YouTube page in the history of time. Come on, we can get there. Think we can get to 1,700 today? We're about 30 away from 1,700 on the subscriber mark. I believe in you guys. You've crushed it so far. You've made this wild ride so much fun. So, just putting the challenge out there. 1,700 is within reach. Hit that subscribe button. Smash that subscribe button. Hit the like button. Let's have fun on YouTube. I don't know why I just do that. I'm telling you, it's because I make fun of all the videos the nephews watch with that. And, by the way, if you're looking for this show when it comes to the podcast form of it, go ahead and search for Locked On Astros anywhere that you get your podcast. You'll get this show and the Locked On Astros show, which is Brett and Eric doing a fantastic job for you guys every single day as well, talking about your Astros. It's double the content. It's right there. And guess what? It's free. And go subscribe to the Locked On Astros page on YouTube as well if you've not done that already. Framber Valdez today. He was unbelievable. And you know what I loved about him today? He definitely had a lot of moments where he should have been and clearly was ticked off. That strike zone. Now, again, it's human element. I get it. It's never going to be perfect. Not until we see an electronic strike zone are we probably ever going to be completely pleased with the strike zone. Today was just wildly inconsistent. It was like he's calling strikes at one point for everything down in the zone and then not. And then squeezing here, and then all of a sudden you get it's like make up your mind on what you need it to be or what you want it to be. It can't be this. It's going to be this one inning, that the other inning. And look, Framber straight up was landing, and really it feels like it was the at-bats against Corey Lee more than anybody else, going back and thinking about it, is he's landing these curveballs down in the zone, and he's getting balls called against him. I mean, just unbelievable what happens there. I mean, it's just, it's absolutely crazy how it can be that wildly inconsistent. But I really loved today for Framber. Number one, I never felt like he was overthrowing. I think that can be an issue with Framber at times. He overthrows and he tries to throw it too hard. And he didn't do any of that today. He let his natural stuff just go. If his fastball is 94 to 96, it's completely fine. It doesn't need to be 97 to 98 to 99 every time that he throws it, even though he's capable of doing it. All they need from him is that 94, because all that run that it has on it, it's a ground ball machine, and guys are swinging through it constantly. On top of that, his curveball today was wicked, and really, his curveball, I'm happy that he's brought it back into using it more. I need to pull up his exact numbers on it when it comes to Baseball Savant, because it felt like last year kind of got away from it a little bit. And, sometimes you don't have feel for pitches and seasons for stretches of time or whatever. And this year, I think he clearly has, a great feel for what's going on. This season, this is all entering today's game, so this hasn't been updated yet. But Framber throws that sinker. He's actually throwing. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at. Okay, so everything is up. This year, Framber's throwing his sinker 47% of the time. Velocity on it is down 1.3 miles per hour, which I think is a good thing. He doesn't have to throw at 96 on average or 95.3 like he did on average. He doesn't need that kind of effort on it. But his curveball usage is up from a year ago at 25.3 to 30.7. And the batting average against it coming in today's game was 119. Last year was 158. he didn't use it enough last year. It's part of the reason why he struggled, because he mixed in that cutter that he ended up throwing. He started to throw a changeup, which he's throwing the changeup still this year, which has also been a good pitch for him. I think his fastball actually gets hit quite a bit. Batting average on the fastball coming into today was 292. But that's not completely unnormal, I guess is the best way to put it, because big league hitters are geared up to hit fastballs. They all can hit a fastball that fast, that high. It's the question of does it have its run on it all the time. But he's been absolutely awesome for a lengthy period of time now. And, we go back and forth on this. It feels like every time now that these guys go through the rotation. We'll see how they fare over the next month and a half, and with some tougher opponents, tough road trip with 7 games in Baltimore and Philadelphia after this homestand wraps up. How they handle, to me, it's the only atmosphere you're worried about necessarily is Philadelphia atmosphere. I know that people go to the Baltimore games, but is that a ballpark that you're like fearing or anything? Probably not. Philly's just got people that like to be nasty at times. But Framber has pitched like the staff ace. There's no other way to put it. He's 13-5 now in the year, 3.2 ERA in 22 starts, 137 and 2/3 innings. Strikeout numbers are up. He's getting closer to that strikeout per inning, 131 in his 137 and 2/3 innings so far this season. And the run that he's been on has been phenomenal. And you could sit here and say, well, look, he's facing the White Sox. Yeah, but you still have to execute. Simple as that. Like, you could still go out there and give up runs to these guys left and right. And going back, he's so far this month of August has been very fruitful for Framber. 3 starts, 3-0, 21 in the third innings, 127 ERA in the games, 23 strikeouts, 5 walks. Allowed just 3 earned runs so far this month, 2, 1, and 0 in his 3 starts. And today they get him out of there at 82 pitches. Could he have gone back out there for another inning? Of course he could have, but why put more onto that arm if you have the ability to not? That's what I get back to, like, being as comfortable as you are in a 1-0 baseball game at that point against the Chicago White Sox. It felt like they were winning 10-0, and they weren't. They pulled Framber with a 1-0 lead. He's rolling, striking guys out left and right. He had 9 strikeouts in his 7 innings. His curveball was wicked. His command was phenomenal, and they pull him at 82 pitches. You ever seen disrespect like that in Major League Baseball? I don't know how much more you can find. Just as simple as that. They have absolutely just disrespected the White Sox today. And he disrespected them just by breaking them off. But getting back to the thought of a postseason rotation, which is still quite a bit of ways away, and I still am confident in telling you this today, like, you could lose a 4-game lead. They can lose a 4-game lead in a week. Absolutely could happen. I don't think they're going to lose the lead. Could it get back to being tighter? Yeah, of course. Probably will. Mariners' schedule, I think, has got some easier opponent. But look, like I just mentioned a minute ago, I just ran through it. Look at the Astros schedule the rest of this season. I know that they're going through. Let's just go through the opponents again real quick. Red Sox. Red Sox for 3. At Baltimore for 3. At Philadelphia for 3. Home for Kansas City for 4. At Cincinnati for 3. Home for the Diamondbacks for 3. Home for the A's for 3. Home for the Angels for 3. At the Padres for 3. Home for the Angels for 4. Home for the Mariners for 3. At the Guardians to finish the season for 3. There are the majority of the games that they play, they should win. They should. I know Kansas City's a wild card team right now. Guess what? They're playing at home. You should win more than you shouldn't at those games at home. They've played Baltimore already this season, played well against them. They can go split a road series in 4 games with Baltimore. Philadelphia they went awful for a while, and they're still not making it easy on their fan base to feel confident in them recently. Like, they don't look very good. Diamondbacks have been red hot, but you're still a few weeks away from that. As I mentioned earlier, Reds and A's, terrible. Angels, terrible. Padres, very beatable. Mariners, we all know how beatable they are. And Guardians are one of the best teams in the American League, but the Astros have always seemed to play pretty well in Cleveland. So, I think that's one of the things that people, when it comes to looking at schedules ahead and players ahead and all the schedule, like you forget to be confident in the fact that, your team going in is better than the majority of those teams, even with the concerns you and I might have for the team. Like, they do need to get Kyle Tucker back soon. They do need to get Justin Verlander back, which it sounds like it's going to happen Wednesday in the day game against Boston. They do need to make sure that all their guys are rested and everything. But they are better than most of those teams. And the only way that they screw this up is if they just don't play well. They're not going to go out there most days and be beat. It happens. But talent-wise, they're better than majority of those teams. Look at the Mariners' opponents real quick. We'll look at theirs real quick before we look at this Boston series. At the Dodgers for 3 this week. I mean, look, the Dodgers are a better team than the Mariners, and the Mariners don't score. They struggle to score runs. I'm going to go ahead and say the Dodgers are probably going to win that series. They go home and play the Giants, who've been red hot. They play the Tampa Bay Rays after that. They'll probably do fine in that series because Tampa can't hit the ball either. Then they play the Angels for 3. They play the A's for 4. They play the Cardinals for 3. They play the Padres for 2. The Rangers for 4. Yankees for 3. Rangers for 3. Astros for 3. A's for 3. I mean, yeah, on paper, their schedule is definitely easier. There is no denying that. The Astros have a ton of easy opponents as well. And if they go out there and do their thing and play well against good teams, which they're very capable of doing and have done a lot recently, I don't think that there's any reason to be concerned about what's happening moving forward. And especially when you get starting pitching like they've had now for almost 2 straight weeks. Talked about it the other day at the Boston series. When they pitch like this, they're almost unbeatable. They're going to go out there and they're going to do something that is going to make it nearly impossible for the opponent to get anything going offensively. And when that happens on a consistent basis, this team is going to eat, which is exactly what they have done again today as they got another win over those White Sox. Let's talk about the Red Sox series. You worried about it because you just slapped them around in Boston that you're going to get a little bit different out of them, or you feeling super confident about it? We'll talk about it here in a brief second on the Locked On Astros Postcast. You've heard us talk a lot about FanDuel. It's, of course, America's #1 sports book. Well, we have something a little different for you. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Pretty great offer. Then with YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel anytime. Just visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn to download America's #1 sportsbook. Locked On Astros Postcast on a Sunday. Thank you for joining me, your host, Michael Connor, here this afternoon. If you are new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. You can come back anytime, and you can do that as well. Get the notifications of when we're going to be live by hitting that subscribe button. You can also follow me on the X machine right there. Connor Michael is the spot to find me there. I was not very active on the X machine today during the game. I'm sorry. It's just one of those Sundays. It's just a Sunday. It had that Sunday feel. I got up this morning, got my workout in, had a huge breakfast because I worked out for 2 hours and came home. Unfortunately, watched my soccer squad lose in Chelsea and sat on my couch all day. Been a good day. Been a real, real good day. And it's really good because the Astros found the way to the victory today. Got the Boston Red Sox coming to this town for 3, the team that you really, after that late finish Friday night in that series where the Astros came back and won, and they slapped them around the rest of the time. From it was like the 7th inning on, basically, in that game. They slapped the Red Sox around. They won 8-4 Friday night. I know it ended up being 5-4 Sunday or Saturday, but I think that was Presley late that kind of coughed one over. Was it Abreu late that coughed it up there a little bit? And then Sunday was just a beatdown. But like none of those games ever, the Saturday and Sunday, even though Saturday ended up being a 1-run game, like the Astros just felt like they were the better team the entire, which they walked out of that series feeling like they're the better team the entire time. Boston is playing for something, of course. They're in the wild card hunt. They are currently 3 games out there, 65 and 58. I don't know if they're playing at the time of doing the show right now. They already they lost to the Orioles today. Pitching wise for this series, the Astros, well, as I mentioned a minute ago, expecting to have Verlander back, but that won't be back that will not be until Wednesday's game. He did have a bullpen. Everything has come out well. Yusei Kikuchi will go tomorrow night to continue. I mean, look what's been his brilliant run as an Astro starter since getting traded over here from the Toronto Blue Jays. Update on that trade today. Joey Loperfido hit his first home run as a Blue Jay, but he has been horrible since he got traded over there. The only guy that's been, Bloss went back to AAA, but Wagner's hitting like 580 something in 6 or 8 games or something like that. Tanner Houck, excuse me, will go tomorrow for Boston. 7-10 first pitch for that one. Ronel Blanco on Wednesday up against Nick Pivetta, another 7-10er, and then 1-10 day game on Wednesday. It is expected to be Justin Verlander up against Cooper Criswell. The Astros should take at least 2 out of 3 in this series, period. They need to get the bats going a little bit again. It was a little sluggish this weekend. Saturday night, it wasn't necessarily a beat down. But again, you lost Bregman, and Bregman was swinging the bat hot coming into this one. The lineup right now has absolutely no length without these guys in there. Get Jordan back in there as well. Got to figure out the first base situation. DeCinzo is not looking like he's worthy of getting much more playing time right now. I'm going to be interested to see how the Astros take or go at this Boston series. I think you got to go back to Singleton, or if you want to put Whitcomb over there. But I think Singleton is the guy that you probably need to put back in the lineup, get the quality at bat that he can give you in terms of being able to take some walks and occasionally hit the baseball over the fence. I think Singleton probably needs to get the play here, at least against the right-handed pitching, which, again, you're going to see right-hander tomorrow. You're going to see a right-hander on Tuesday in Pivetta. I don't know why. I don't know what day of the week it is. Then Wednesday. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know a thing about Wednesday's starter, Cooper Criswell. I have honestly never heard of him. He's a righty. Okay. He's only pitched 31 games in the big leagues. So he doesn't have a big track record. That's probably why I haven't heard of him. He has a career ERA of 5.03. Good luck to him. But the Astros should feel pretty confident about that series taking it. Of course, you can join us throughout the week. Look, we're in a stretch right now where the Astros don't have days off. Not until we hit the calendar month of September. We will be with you every single day for these shows. So hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you're here. I know that we did not have one yesterday, but this channel is also Rockets, Texans, Astros. We will be doing the Texans' final game of the preseason later on this week on top of the Astros. That will come on Saturday. The Texans will play the Rams at 12 o'clock. The Astros on Saturday are in Baltimore. I think it's a 3:05 game. So it'll be going on the Texans postcast that day. During the early portions of the Astros game, don't worry, I'll have the Astros game on my computer, watching it as we talk, and then we'll do Astros later on. So thank you guys for spending some time on your Sunday. Again, hit that subscribe button. Appreciate you stopping by. We'll do this again tomorrow night after Astros and Red Sox on the Locked On Astros Postcast.